Today is Memorial Day, a day to honor and remember those who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. Here's a look at some of the celebrations from around the state that were posted today on Snap Maps. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill. Your local news is coming up. First, a few more Memorial Day themed stories. The website, securelife.com, ranked Maine as the safest state for Memorial Day travel. This is what the traffic looked like earlier today at the York toll booth. It's still pretty backed up there right now, too. Now, 62% of Americans actually own an American flag, but not everyone knows about the specific guidelines on how to properly display Old Glory. Based on the Federal Flag Code, you can fly the U.S. flag outside from sunrise to sunset. If you want to fly it after dark, it needs to be properly illuminated. And don't fly it during inclement weather unless it's an all-weather flag. From your porch, the union of the flag should be at the peak of the staff unless the flag is at half staff. The flag should also not touch anything below it or rest on the ground. Experts point out that our flags should not be draped or used as throws or table covers. For more official rules about the U.S. flag, check out usa.gov/flag. All right, a gorgeous day for Memorial Day activities. The sun was shining, the temperatures were up, but this spring has proven to be a wet one. Jess, is more rain on the way?
Yeah, it is, Amanda. Unfortunately, it looks like many of us are going to see a lot of rain tomorrow. Actually, just a few sprinkles out here right now. Heidi just emailed me too from Saco and said there are a couple sprinkles moving through in other parts of the state. Definitely seeing rain tonight. Just a couple showers here and there, but tomorrow much more rain is on the way. It was gorgeous today though, right? High temperatures made it into the 60s and 70s, 74 the high today in Portland, 63 in Rockland, 70 though for Bar Harbor, 69 the high today in Bangor. Greenville made it up to 58, but it's already starting to cool down with the cold front coming through. 59 is the current temperature now in Portland, down to 56 in Rangeley, a little bit cooler there, and temperature in Bangor right now is 65 degrees, 53 in Frenchville. Yeah, there's the front. You can see it coming through. We'll see a couple spotty showers here and there, especially in far eastern Maine over the next hour or two. But then much more rain on the way for tomorrow. You can see that low pressure system way off to our west over the Great Lakes region. That's what's moving closer to us, and that's what's going to bring the rain tomorrow. Looks like it'll hold off until we get into tomorrow afternoon, Amanda, but then it looks like it's going to be pretty wet for several days. We'll talk about the rainy pattern coming up in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then, Jess. Thanks. Let's take a look at some headlines now. Japan's Prime Minister and President Donald Trump reaffirmed their intention to cooperate to resolve the abduction of Japanese nationals by North Korea. The leaders stressed the ironclad strength of the bilateral alliance and their close working relationship. Japan's Prime Minister expressed his resolve to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un with no preconditions. The CDC says over half of the states in the country are dealing with measles. The latest numbers they have show that 940 cases have been confirmed in 26 states. That's an increase of 60 cases from the previous week. Maine and New Mexico are the latest states to report cases of the highly infectious disease. The hardest hit state continues to be New York, where there are nearly 800 cases. Hundreds of men across the U.S. are signing up with lawyers to sue the Boy Scouts for damages related to sex abuse they claim to have suffered at the hands of Scout leaders. The expected wave of litigation poses a financial threat to the Boy Scouts that could trigger bankruptcy. For some of the men, it's an emotional challenge to recall the abuse and the decades of psychological damage that resulted. The BSA has repeatedly apologized and says it now has policies to curtail abuse. All right, the Rock Row concert venue in Westbrook opened up last night, and not everyone liked what they heard. There were noise complaints from as far away as 2 miles from the venue. Last night's performance was by Anderson .Paak and the Free Nationals. Now, Paul wrote to us to tell us he's from the Capissic Pond area and closed windows and still heard and felt the noise and vibrations well after 10 p.m. Worse than jetport noise, he says. Chris adds simple noise buffers and adjustments are needed as they understand how acoustics work. Now, not everyone was complaining. Roger posts, "Dear Westbrook, welcome to an outdoor concert venue. Love, Bangor. P.S. Wait till your first big country show." And Kevin chiming in, "Just think about how much money it's going to be bringing into your local businesses and community." We'll have more on that coming up at 5:30. Now, video game addiction is now officially considered to be a mental health disorder. The World Health Organization voted to add gaming disorder to its international classification of diseases over the weekend. It was added to a classification revision last summer, but now they've officially adopted it. Experts say a gaming addiction is characterized when playing video games takes precedence over other life interests. And in order for the disorder to be diagnosed, the behavior must result in significant impairment of functioning. The new classifications will go into effect January 1st of 2022. New technology is helping patients at a dentist office in Texas spend less time getting work done and more time living their lives. Here's the newest innovation in 3D printing.
Walden Dental in Cedar Park isn't usually open on Sundays. But Dr. David Frank wanted us to see how he's able to save his patients time and money. Patients like Emily Young, who's also the office manager.
I am getting a crown done on the upper right.
She's gotten this done before, the old-fashioned way using moldings and the 3D printer way that uses digital impressions.
An hour and a half for one versus 2 to 3 weeks in the other.
After numbing the tooth, Dr. Frank scans it and prepares the crown for milling, or for the 3D printer to make it, which takes about 15 minutes.
Cost effectiveness is the ability for us not only to have things completed in one visit, not having to have multiple visits, not having to use a laboratory, not having to have outsourced products.
This process also helps those with a gag reflex.
It also helps us completely avoid for our gagging patients any goo that needs to be rammed into their mouth to where they're constantly choking.
This process is exactly why Anthony Collier sought out Dr. Frank.
I've been through this before with having a crown done and having to wait and then have to make multiple trips into the dentist, and I just don't have the time for that, number one. Number two, I'm not a huge fan of sitting in the dentist chair.
While there are other 3D printers available, Dr. Frank says the one he uses is the most accurate out there, which means patients only have to sit once for their porcelain crowns, which they get that same day. Jenny Lee, KBU News.
Coming up, we'll learn about a business that's designed for great Instagram photos and is full of 90s nostalgia. And we're just a few hours away from the start of the Stanley Cup Final. Jess Gagne and Hannah Deneen will check in before the Bruins and Blues face off. Hello, Facebook. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you are enjoying the weather before things go south. Right, Jess? When is the rain moving into Maine?
Tomorrow.
So tonight we're okay. Hi, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook. Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, at least the weekend was really good.
I know. The weekend was great. It was actually a little nicer than.
Where are you going to do your board?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to open Facebook here.
Appropriate.
Okay, well, I can put this.
I know. I'm like.
Oh, that's cute.
Turn some lights on.
Yeah, wherever.
John says go Bruins.
Turn the lights.
Huh. Darren, I'm with you. Mud getting dehydrated. Oh, Susan, welcome home.
See how that one's red?
What'd you guys do today? Did you barbecue? Did you go to the parade? Oh, I gotta fix this.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. My IFB is being weird.
Hi, Jeffrey. Ooh, Al got a sunburn today. That's no good. Gotta put on the sunscreen. It's every time. Every time Ken walks into this office, it's like, oh, there's a dog here. No, it's just Ken. There he is, walking away. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm great. Thanks for asking.
It is really disappointing. We love Ken, but disappointing. Oh, enjoy Texas for one more day, Susan.
I'm gonna hold the flag.
I gotta sneeze. You guys have shown the new office, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keith did the other day.
Okay. Look at you. I like that you guys have tower cameras that you can look at.
That's how I'm gonna start full weather.
All right, here we go. You might think it would be hard to find high school lockers, a sandcastle, and a canoe all in one place, but the FOMO factory at the Houston Galleria is making it simple. Set to open in just a few weeks, our sister station in Houston got a sneak peek on a place filled with 90s nostalgia.
We want to see every one of our guests on the seesaw.
It's a trip
It's a journey through childhood nostalgia.
back in time,
Go back to school, you're going to enter the science lab, you're going to play with toys.
an art collection that's both colorful and captivating.
This is what we used before we had Spotify.
It's the FOMO factory.
It's a space designed, yes, for taking selfies, but more than anything, we've really designed it to be an experience.
FOMO,
Cake is not edible, but you can fully
meaning
jump inside of it
the fear of missing out.
and pop out like everybody dreams to.
Rachel Ewens
We've got a bubble bath run and ready for you.
is trying to calm that fear with fantasy.
Maybe your current boyfriend or girlfriend didn't get to come with you to prom, but they can here.
It's one space split into 17 different rooms, each offering their own dose from a different decade.
Whether you want to head back to high school, take a bite out of your birthday, put the bubble back in your bath, or make a splash back into summer, the FOMO Factory has everything you want and more to bring your childhood back to life.
It's okay here. I'm giving you permission to be ridiculous.
The experience also comes with a candy necklace, a popsicle, and a chance to write a letter to your future self.
About what you don't want to miss out on in the next couple months. And it's going to be emailed back to you in 6 months' time.
It's all to give you a chance to bring out your inner child. Standing for Houston, Janelle Bluta, KHOU 11 News.
Still to come, we're talking Bruins mania in Boston with a live report from Jess and Hannah. And the clouds are moving in the full forecast when News Center Now continues. I liked that little zoom in on the flag.
You executed it. Oh, it's live first.
Ah,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What did you do? Thank you, John. I didn't hold it back. Oh, they're talking to. Can you hear them too? Okay, what are your predictions for the Stanley Cup? Dylan wants to know.
Hey, Jess, can I set you up at the map?
Oh yeah, sorry, I don't know where to go.
Do you have any Stanley Cup predictions, Jess?
Bruins in 5 games.
Bruins what?
In 5 games.
Ooh.
What do they have to win? 4, right?
You think they'll do it in 5? Okay. All right. That sounds good.
I'm confident in them.
That sounds good.
Am I too tall? Because I have heels on today. I'm like a head taller than you. Just a little bit, but can I go here or no?
Those are cute. No, I think you're fine.
guys look more even. Okay. They're old, but so patriotic. And there's my second ankle. Hi, Facebook.
It's fine. It's fine. Ken, what are you doing?
Yeah, Jeff just did.
I'm waiting. Nothing.
What do you guys do? Well, you guys just like loiter.
Look, I am looking for my laptop. I'm not loitering. It's over there. I'm just lost.
There's a laptop here, yes.
Ken is loitering. I'm usually lost.
That's fair.
I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Talking to Liam, what you said.
I'm sorry. Continue. Talk to Liam. Do what you gotta do. Yeah, we have the girls live first. A lot of you are excited for the Bruins. We've got a live report coming right up. Ooh, Jess, what'd you do today?
Nothing today.
You could have hung out with me this morning.
What'd you do?
Drove Stormy.
Oh yeah, I was out on that. But how was it? Was it good?
It actually was really fun. People were really excited. It's the biggest, from what they told me, the biggest Memorial Day festival in the state.
Oh, cool.
All right, here we go. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final is tonight in Boston. The Bruins will host the St. Louis Blues at the Garden in a game you can see live right here on News Center Maine. Our Jessica Gagne and Hannah Deneen are live at the TD Garden. Jess, how many Mainers have you run into while there?
Not many yet because I'm pretty much inside and the doors are closed, but they will be open soon. In just less than 3 hours, the Bruins and the Blues will take the ice against each other in Game 1. Now, one of the most popular, most polarizing probably players on the ice for the Bruins will be Brad Marchand. He's one of those people that really knows how to get under the other team's skin. But there are a few kids from Maine who say Marchand off the ice is one of the nicest people out there. Alex Favreau, Ryan Malikis, Ace Watson, and Will Rothier got to hang out with Marchand and some other NHL players at the All-Star Game in Orlando about a year and a half ago. And ever since the personal interaction they had with him, number 63 has been number 1 in their hearts.
So we were at the airport, right? And he had all of his hockey gear and equipment. He had his baby with him. And he was struggling. Everything was falling off his cart that he had. So we offered our help to him and he was like, okay. And then we went to his car, me and Axel. And then he was like, one second, I have a thing for you. And then he gave us his sticks.
Well, I thought before he might be a little scrappy and kind of vicious, but now he's super nice and really calm and stuff.
Who's going to win the Stanley Cup and in how many games?
Bruins in 6.
Bruins in 6.
Bruins in 5, I think.
Bruins in 7.
Oh, that's an awesome story. And of course, lots of excited fans in Maine ready for this series to begin. News Center Maine's Hannah Deneen is outside the Garden right now with some of the great photos that you guys have been sending us. Hey, Hannah.
Hey Jess, I'm at FanFest right now, right outside of TD Garden, and it's pretty incredible. These streets are painted black and gold. Everyone's got their jerseys on, their hats, you name it. And the energy out here, it's really exciting. You know, you can tell these fans, like the players, they've had 10 days off and they've reset and now they're re-energized and they're coming out here with new vigor, ready to cheer on their team. And we know that it's not just the fans that are right here in Boston cheering on the Bruins tonight, but of course the same can be said for all of the Bruins fans at home in Maine tonight. And we certainly know there are some hardcore fans there. All week we've been asking you to send us photos showing off your Bruins pride. We've received so many great photos from spirited kids and pets to adults rocking their black and gold. And we want to share your photos. Email them to us or share them with us on social media like the News Center Maine Facebook or Twitter pages. We're going to continue to show these great pictures throughout the series. And coming up in the next half hour, Amanda, we're going to hear from, excuse me, Andy Brickley, and he is a current Nesson sportscaster, former Bruins player and former Maine Mariner. So it'll be really interesting to hear what he has to say, especially his different memories about Portland. Back to you.
That'll be a great conversation. All right, Hannah Deneen, Jessica Gagne, we're going to see more of them in just a little bit. For now, let's get to our forecast here with Jess. And yeah, I mean, beautiful weather today. No complaints.
It's been beautiful this whole weekend, right? We did okay. So I've been making my friends back, and now they're all going to leave again because it's going to rain, guys. It's going to rain tomorrow, but it's been nice, right? And the timing on it was good. So let's take a look at what's going on out there right now. Look at these webcams. Beautiful. York looks great. Standish looking pretty good too. We saw plenty of sun today. Clouds now starting to increase across the state. As we go into the day tomorrow, we'll really see those clouds thicken up, especially as we go through the morning, and then some rain moves in. But look at the current temperatures. Not too bad. 65 right now in Bangor, 59 currently in Portland, 66 in Waterville, and 66 in Augusta too. So still pretty comfortable out there, still pretty nice. Some colder air though is on the way. We'll see temperatures cool off tonight, and then it's going to be a little bit cooler for tomorrow, mainly because those clouds will stick around. Very warm across the southeast, record high temperatures down there. It's been in the hundreds in some spots. Totally opposite situation here. No surprise, right? It's Maine. It's still going to be pretty chilly as we go through tonight. We have freeze warnings and frost advisories in place for the areas you can see here shaded in blue. Overnight tonight, it's going to get very cold. We'll have mainly clear skies and fairly calm winds. So just make sure to protect any sensitive plants. Want to keep them warm overnight tonight. Some clouds moving through right now. We saw a few spotty showers too. We'll see mostly clear skies tonight until this low pressure system moves into the area or closer to the area tomorrow. That's when we'll see the clouds start to increase, and then we'll see some rain on the way as we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening. So let's go through it here hour by hour. Overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, those clouds increase. You can see by about lunchtime tomorrow, rain starts to move into southern parts of the state. We'll see that rain continue to move to the north and east as we go throughout the day tomorrow. Far northern Maine should stay mainly dry with this system. It moves through pretty quickly though overnight into Wednesday morning. It's already out of here. We'll clear out a little bit for the day on Wednesday. We'll at least dry out, and temperatures should be able to warm up into the low to mid 50s as we go throughout the day on Wednesday. So not a total loss there, but tomorrow's not looking great for most of us. And then on Thursday, looks like clouds will be sticking around, and then another chance of rain as we head into Thursday afternoon and into the day on Friday. Not great. We're not settling back into a great pattern here, but it does look like as we go into next weekend, it should stay mostly dry. So the timing of the showers and storms might not be too bad. Here's your marine forecast for tomorrow. Seas around a foot, winds from the south at 5 to 10 knots. Water temperature still very cold. So remember, if you're planning on spending any time out on the ocean, just remember how cold the water is and make sure you are staying safe. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast as we go into the day tomorrow. Again, increasing clouds. We'll see those showers move in by tomorrow afternoon and evening. Temperatures a little bit cooler than it's been. We'll see temperatures make it into the upper 50s and lower 60s tomorrow. The rain moves in tomorrow afternoon and evening. Still pretty cool for the day on Wednesday, and it's going to stay cloudy too. Pretty unsettled as we go through most of this week. You can see chances of showers kind of each day. Temperatures stay cool until Friday. We'll start to clear out. By Friday afternoon, the sun comes out, and look at just in time for the weekend. Sunshine returns and we make it close to 70 degrees. So I guess if we have to have rain, we might as well have it during the middle of the week, and then maybe another nice weekend.
Exactly. You talked about losing friends. I actually drove Stormy this morning in the Lewiston-Auburn parade, and so many people were like, thank you for the weather. And it made me think, okay, if it were actually raining right now, people would be not happy with us coming through here. No. Yeah, all right. Thanks, Jess. Yikes. Some may call it disgusting. Others may say it's the perfect Maine food. We're talking about lobster and fiddlehead pizza. First Choice Market and Deli in Caribou is the maker of this creation. Let us know on our live stream right now if you would try this or if you would stay away. What do you think, Pat?
Try it at least once. You know, what do you got to lose?
Give it a shot.
Yeah. I'm not sure it becomes anyone's #1 favorite, but who knows?
You never know. All right, you got a lot more coming up at 5:30.
We do indeed. There's police in Bangor are warning people to watch out for what they're saying is a very sophisticated scam, one that targeted a fast food restaurant worker yesterday. We'll tell you about that. On this Memorial Day, an 87-year-old Navy veteran is doing his part to honor his fallen friends. Jackie Mundry will bring us that story. And Peggy Kaiser reports on second chances for some inmates and the horses that they learn to care for. Interesting story. It's all coming up in just a couple minutes on News Center at 5:30.
All right, we'll see you then, Pat. And News Center Now will be right back.
See you on the TV.
This whole prompter thing is stressing me out.
I know Lindsay's never like.
It's hard to, here you go, Facebook, here's the look behind the scenes. At 5, Lindsay often has to run her own prompter, which I'm doing right now. And it's actually very complicated to do while trying to have a conversation with someone and while paying attention to what's coming up next. Yeah.
She doesn't want, like, she must be looking at Pat or whatever, whoever's teasing, but then she also has to look there.
You have to look at the...
It looks like she can't find the right camera or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay, what do you guys think? Would you try that pizza? John says he would. Paul says no. Brian would give it a shot. Iris says yes. Heidi, nope, wouldn't try it. I feel like I'm intrigued by the fiddlehead part. I'm not sure I love lobster and cheese. And like pizza sauce. Is it pizza sauce? Hey.
It's so Maine, that's the only thing appealing about it, I think. It's very Maine.
Okay, we can do that. Do we have time that we need to kill? Oh, okay. All right. And so I intro this and go downstairs, right? And are you coming back to me to say 5:30 starts now, or are you just going right into it? Awesome. John, thank you. Yeah, so you would try it, Liam?
Yeah, I think so. But I think the most appealing thing is it's just a Maine. It's just so Maine. But that's like the only. It would.
It's a very Maine. Yeah, very Maine thing. Chase it down with a moxie. Listen. I know a lot of people are not with you on that, but I definitely am.
Hopefully Pat gets out of,
Oh, yeah, do they know that that's happening? Hey guys. Okay. Just Pat hanging out. All right, don't mind Pat behind me here. Disregard that. Hey, Pat. So we asked you if you would try the lobster and fiddlehead pizza, and a lot of you commenting on our Facebook page, thanks for weighing in. Some of you saying you got to try it once, others saying no, thank you. But thank you for weighing in on that. All right, finally tonight, we've all heard of themed weddings, but how about a themed wedding that becomes a big part of the house you live in? A couple got married at the Land of Oz in North Carolina and have transformed their home to reflect their love for the iconic movie and for each other. Check it out.
Well, we got married at the Land of Oz in Beach Mountain, North Carolina. Both my dad and my mom lived on Beach Mountain. That's where they met. When we talked to my mom after we got engaged, she mentioned the idea.
You've been living in the state for 15 years. I've never even heard of it. And when she mentioned that kind of like sparked her interest.
We couldn't think of a better location.
It was a little dystopian, but it was also very friendly at the same time. And it was just really great just to go and explore and even look back and imagine what it was in the 70s.
We wanted to have a fairly casual, fun wedding.
We brought in cotton candy machines and popcorn machines.
The dress, again, going just the tinge on the traditional but non-traditional. I wanted teeth length, and then I could show off my red shoes because, of course, Dorothy wore red slippers. There's a big kind of courtyard area that has the barn and then Dorothy's house, and then just grassy area. So that's where we put the refreshments, and the band was on Dorothy's house porch. So you walked in, and actually instead of signing a book, like you would sign a book of who's attending, we had people sign a puzzle piece that was actually a piece of a puzzle to the map of the Land of Oz.
My background is in branding and advertising, so I took over all of the invitations, and it actually, since this place was so remote and it's not really on the map, I had to really make basically a book of all the events and how to get there.
We took a lot of the wedding planning on ourselves. I decided to hand bead flowers, which was in hindsight more difficult than I imagined, but we got them together.
Everyone they had a great time just walking around and exploring all the things that the park has to offer. And it'll be fun to take our kids there too when they're a little bit older and walk through it with them and explain to them this is where mommy and daddy got married.
Yeah, we have two children now. The rug in her room is yellow with a geometrical pattern, so it's like the yellow brick road. And we wanted to bring in the rainbow, so.
And the hot air balloon too. But for bringing in the rainbow, instead of just having to paint it on the wall, we went out and bought a bunch of panels.
I actually finished the bouquet in a complete circle and made it a lamp in her room. So my wedding bouquet is her children's lamp now.
The best thing about the Land of Oz, if no one has been there or just now hearing of it, that it is just a unique treasure in the state of North Carolina that everyone should just go check out for themselves.
Tonight on News Center at 5:30, fast food.